Alright, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. What good? Eric Zilla here with yet another EZILLA99 podcast. Episode 4. Yeah, we're barely on episode 4. Like it's I really need to do more of this kind of stuff, man. I have so much in my head that I wanted to discuss because this is the whole reason why, I wanted to make a podcast, because I want to discuss other things that can't really be made in a YouTube video, like in a regular video. So this is sort of a way for me to just vent out some thoughts that I randomly have in my head. So yeah. Anyway, so let's kick things off right. Recently, a lot of things have been going on in terms of films and in terms of figures and toys. Just a lot of things coming out for this year, and just so much that I want to discuss with you guys. Anyway, finally got around to watching Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Now, I have seen the first film already, and I thought that movie was pretty fun. It was a fun movie. It was okay. It was good. This one, however, is something that many people like. I am like somewhat like not alone when I think of this. The second film was okay. There was nothing wrong with it. However, it's just it was kind of bumpy in the beginning. Then it kind of like built itself up to the climax of the film and just stuff like that. And I don't really consider myself as a hardcore Sonic fan. Like usually when they announce that there's gonna be a Sonic film, you just can't help but like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I'll check it out. It was just more of just like a casual moviegoer kind of experience. Like I didn't really go in there with the mindset of expecting some really phenomenal stuff here. But at the same time, I have, Sonic was somewhat a part of my childhood. I played Sonic CD when I was very young. But besides all that, the movie itself, it was pretty good. The second film, and obviously the end credit scenes, freaking Shadow came out of nowhere. Oh yeah, also, if you guys haven't seen the movie, yeah, I pretty much just spoiled the end credit scene. Shadow appears as a brief cameo. Yeah. Do I care whether I spoiled it for you? No, I don't. So, anyway, it was pretty good. It was a pretty enjoyable film, and yeah. And another thing that I also wanted to bring up as well is some things regarding Jurassic World Dominion. Some toys and figures have just been released. I already posted it in my community post already of me purchasing some Jurassic World Dominion toys already. Like they already hit Target and Walmart. And here's the thing too, is around here in California, we don't usually get a lot of things first. It's usually either in Mexico or in other parts of the U.S. Like it's always around there, but it's never in California. Like we never really get anything like first, or like we're usually always the last ones to get anything. So like every time, usually like with me whenever like for example like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toys when they were released, I had to legit buy a few of them online, like sort of on the freaking aftermarket basically. Specifically, one such example, the Spinosaurus from the Legacy Collection. I had to buy that from the aftermarket, and a few other ones such as the I think it was the extreme chomping Tyrannosaurus. I forgot what it's called. Anyway, all that kind of stuff. But like now, it's nowadays like they all came in really like really quick, like one snap of that, like they came in really quick. We actually got ours early, surprisingly. Like all of them were supposed to be officially released on April 17th, but apparently we've got ours like a day early on April 16th. So I was unaware of that. But I started finding out some people that I follow, and they live around here in the California area, and they started getting theirs, and they started like getting theirs early. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I gotta go out there and get me some goddamn dinosaurs. So I did, and I've managed to find, or I'll just post the image right here. I got two Therizinosaurus, one for my nephew and one for myself. I got the Yankshwanosaurus. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That particular species of dinosaur, I've never thought in millions of years would they ever make a Mattel figure of that particular species. That species has been a part of Jurassic Park for a while. And so, like, the fact that they're getting all these obscure dinosaurs that appeared in the official lore of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, it's really cool. It's really cool. And, of course, I got the Quetzalcoatlus. Now, keep in mind, because this is something I wanted to discuss in this little thing. The Quetzalcoatlus. So the Quetzalcoatlus, when it comes down to it, now before I go any further, let me just start it over. Before I go any further, and when it comes down to it, as collectors, these are something to collect. These are just something to admire, put on your shelf and admire it. That's usually, at least that's what I do with my it goes either way with Godzilla or Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, anything like that. I just like to stare at them. It's really, really cool. They're really cool. And also at the same time, and obviously their main demographics is kids. These are toys first, collectible figures for us second. You see what I mean? So when it comes down to it, the reason why I bring that up first is because this particular person doesn't really seem to understand the concept of that, and instead pretty much whines and bitches about that. Which leads us to this channel in particular that I wanted to discuss here. Toy Adventures. Now, for those who are part of a community known as the DinoTube community, this name is infamous. It really is. I myself have been subscribed to this guy's channel since he first released his very first video of the Tyrannosaurus. Like it was when Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom toys were starting to be released, and obviously when it comes down to it, there's going to be a lot of people using those toys for fan films, which is it's really, really cool. And this guy right here, Toy Adventures, was the very first person, as far as I know, to really popularize the whole Jurassic World toy film thing. Obviously, there are other ones before him. They were the ones that did it before him, but he was the one that sort of popularized that whole trope. Like he popularized the dinosaur fan film project things. Like he made it popular again, basically is what I'm saying. But even then though, at the same time, his films have gotten a little bit, repeated over and over. Like it's always the same sort of thing. There's nothing new. It's always on an island. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing, not to say that there's nothing wrong with that, but it's always nice to see some change of scenery here and there once in a while. But other than that, Toy Adventures, I really enjoy his content, and it's really, really cool. But anyway, we're not talking about Toy Adventures freaking channel. We're talking about one specific video that he made not too long ago, which when this podcast is up, I'm pretty sure that video in particular has garnered more views. But anyway, it is of the Jurassic World Dominion Quetzalcoatlus Massive Action Review. Yeah, he does a tour review of this specific species, and throughout the entirety of his video, he goes on a little bit of a rant on how he doesn't particularly like any of the pterosaurs of that Mattel has made. And at the same time, it's like, at the same time, like, oh, okay, like if he doesn't like a specific thing about the dinosaurs, like I'll say this I'll say this, I could kind of relate to that for what he mentioned right there. Like he doesn't have to like or buy every single dinosaur that Mattel has to offer. Like for example, for me, like I only gotten only the few dinosaurs, particularly that would that catch my eye, or that were official dinosaurs from like the films, like from Jurassic Park, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, and of course Jurassic World Dominion. Like I like to, get as much dinosaurs that appear from those films. I don't like to go out of my way to get just any dinosaurs that I see just because it has Jurassic World or Jurassic Park on it. So it's I could kind of I could pretty much relate to that in some aspects right there. Obviously when it comes down to it, his review is not bad, but it's just his opinions that his takes on it are pretty confusing. He goes off on a tangent, specifically saying how he doesn't like flyers. Okay. Then he goes out of his way to say that, he never liked any of the flyers at all throughout all of the Mattel figure line. And so that he also specifies how, will this Quetzalcoatlus, be any different? And, once he said that, I was like, okay, so you don't like the flyers. Why did you get the Quetzalcoatlus? In the video, he does specify that he got it because of the Dominion, it's a film dinosaur, it's a dinosaur, it's a I shouldn't call it a dinosaur. Quetzalcoatlus, the flying species of creatures, they're not dinosaurs. I shouldn't specify that. Yeah, they appear in the movie, so obviously I was like, oh, okay, I can understand that. But at the same time, why are you still bitching about it? Like, why are you still like whining about it? Like, okay, because in the video as well, he points out how the wings are not fully like connected, which I don't understand. He makes a comparison of the React Attack Pteranodon from the old Hasbro Jurassic Park 3 line. And I actually do have that particular freaking Alpha Pteranodon, and I even double checked on it to look, what he was specifying about. And basically what he was saying was that the membranes from the wings don't connect fully to the body. Like, that was his whole argument. And so, but at the same time, the Alpha Pteranodon toy from Hasbro Jurassic Park 3, it has that same sort of gimmick. It has that same sort of toy design. I don't understand. And so, he goes off on that, and, he just, he riffs a bit on the Quetzalcoatlus. And, I'm just here thinking, like, why? Like, why did you, if you knew that you're not going to like the Quetzalcoatlus, if you knew, like, why'd you get it? Why'd you take him out of the box? Like, if you're not gonna display it in any way, or like use it in your projects or whatever, why did you buy it? Why did you take it out why are you taking it out of its packaging? Like, it's some of these questions that, that come across from me. And I guess in some ways it's just, he just simply just wanted to buy it just to riff on it. Which even then, like, in and of itself, it's kind of like a waste. Such a waste, like, you waste $20 on a freaking toy just to riff on it on a video, when you could just riff on it in a comment or in just a regular video. It's that simple, and it's free. I mean, I don't know. That whole video was just kind of like a mixed bag for me. Like, it was just kind of like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, what makes what, like, you. Like, because here's the thing too, is that in some cases, people have to make sacrifices for the toy. You know, they have to make it so, you know, like how is it gonna have that gimmick of flying, you know? Like how is it gonna have that sort of feature? We have to make sacrifices. And that's pretty much what it is right there. You know, they had to make a sacrifice. They had to, sculpt it in a way where the wings can flap still with the mech with the gimmick. And it's that simple. You know, I really don't know how what else to say. You know, it's really just that it is that's it. um Again, like I just want to say, like I'm not trying to make fun or riff on or roast Toy Adventures. You know, his content is decent. You know, and everything like that. But it's just this video in particular was just something I wanted to talk about because you know it was confusing to me. Like, and usually, you know, and if he didn't explain it well, then that just, you know, if I'm being confused about it, and if he did but say it in a different way, then it didn't go through. You know, it didn't go through. I don't really know how else to really say this. You know, it's just it's all over the place. But yeah, you know, the video is still up. And obviously, and that's the thing with Toy Adventures, man. He just wants specific movie accurate looking like toys, I guess. And like I think, you know, especially with him, like it's pretty weird because like it's also kind of weird to see like how some toy reviewers, and you know, I guess in some ways I'm at fault too, but at the same time I don't nitpick to the point where it's like, oh shit, this is fucking garbage, you know? Like I'm not straight up like, you know, because this can also imply for, you know, Godzilla toys, you know, hear me out, all right? So when some toy reviewers and stuff like that, they always have to nitpick on little things, little things, just because, you know, it doesn't fit their whole aesthetics of what like toys and shit. Like for example, like there's minor small things. Like for example, like the Spinosaurus being like a little bit too like squished mushed together. Like it doesn't really have that look of the actual Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. And you know, those are just small ones, you know. But then there's people that, you know, talk about the paint job, the sculpting, and you know, like at the same time it's like, why'd you get it then? Why did you waste your money buying something that you don't like? Like for example, you know, Playmates Godzilla toys. I mean, I'll say this right now. I never bought any. I only like out of all the Playmates toys that have ever been released for GVK and for like the regular, you know, Godzilla toys, I've only bought in at least three, at the very least, at least three. I bought in the GVK Skullcrawler because it's a 6-inch Skullcrawler and it looks really good. The Playmates Rodan 1956 and the Playmates Gorosaurus 1968. Like I bought those because they look good. They look really good for a toy. You know, they're really great, and for figures as well. But like, you know, obviously with all these other ones, you know, all the other Playmates toys. Oh, I'm an idiot. I also forgot to mention I bought the Playmates Colossal Kong and Colossal the Mega Kong and the Mega Godzilla. I got in the 6-inch Mecha Godzilla. I've gotten the Playmates 11-inch Mecha Godzilla, Godzilla, and Kong figures, as well as the Playmates 11-inch Kong from Skull Island. Yeah, I've gotten those, you know, but you don't see me getting every single, you know, freaking GVK toy out there, you know. Like I've only gotten those ones because those were the ones that caught my eye like the most, you know. Those were the ones that really just, you know, wanted it, you know, they looked really good, you know. But like, you know, with other Playmates toys, you know, like obviously, you know, like fucking do whatever the fuck you want, waste your money on that shit. But it's like, you know, with some of these, you know, like for example, like the Shin Godzilla one, And even with the recent Shin Godzilla toys, the Shin Godzilla Playmates, you know, like even then, I don't want to get those. You know, I don't want to buy something that I know I'm not gonna like. You know, like why am I gonna do that? You know what I mean? So it's like, so basically, you know, overall, you know, it's really just weird the fact that Toy Adventures says that he knows that even he said in the video, he knows that, like, will this become like a really good toy? Who knows? I doubt it. Like, if you knew already that this toy wasn't for yourself, like if you knew it wasn't gonna be good, why'd you get it? Just because it's a movie? So what? Like, there have been so many different Ceratosauruses out there, and they all, and each one of them are from Jurassic Park 3. They have the Jurassic Park 3 sculpt. You don't see me going out of my way to buy them all just because it was in Jurassic Park 3. Like, seriously. And there's even one such example, the Lost World, the Legacy Collections Lost World Velociraptors. Those ones, I didn't bought those. I didn't like the sculpt. I didn't like the way the gimmick was. The gimmick is stupid. I don't like the gimmick. You press it down and the lace and it makes a jumping move. Like it makes it jump. You know, I don't like that. I thought it looked pretty goofy, if anything. So, like, you know, like basically what I'm saying is, you know, it's just with Toy Adventures here, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like maybe it's just me, you know, maybe it's just my old old brain is over here like thinking of other things. Like maybe it's that. Who really knows, man? But honestly, with Toy Adventures, man, it was his review was just all over the place when it comes down to it, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's just pretty much how it is, I guess, with him. Again, not trying to riff on him. You know, he does decent content. It's just that particular video and some other videos, you know, he's kind of a mixed bag. Another thing too that I forgot to mention, I've actually had my very first interaction with Toy Adventures a long time ago. It was when he was doing the tour review for the Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus, I believe. Or I think it was the Legacy Collection Spinosaurus. Either of those two. He did a video on that. And there was this one scene in the video where it sounded like he straight up farted. Like he straight up just let out some gas. And I kind of poked fun at that. And, you know, there was a whole little thread. And it was just him defending himself, like saying, I didn't fart. You're just hearing shit. But no, like it straight up sounded like he fucking let out some gas. My dude over here is like over here letting out some gas in a video. Like, holy shit. Like, you don't gotta lie to yourself. Like, at least just own it, bro. Like, straight up. Like, he said that he burped, and other people there started backing him up, saying that he burped also. Like, it straight up did not sound like a burp. It straight up sounded like he sounded like he farted. Like, it straight up sounded like it. Like, it's like, it went like a, like, I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, that was my very first interaction with Toy Adventures. Like, he never replies. Like, I don't think he replies to a lot of his fans. But, you know, he replied to me that time. And I was just like, wow. Anyway, guys. Okay, moving on. Probably we're going to get onto some discussions of Godzilla here. We're going to get some Godzilla shit. Yep, we got some Godzilla news. Yeah. Freaking Call of Duty Vanguard Warzone Classified Arms. Yes. A very first COD X Godzilla versus Kong game. Yeah. Wow. I'm kind of just like shocked that they never like did this in the first place. You know what I mean? Like COD with Godzilla seems like it could be a nice mix, you know? Because the lore of COD is so vast. There are so many capabilities, that there's so many things that could happen, so many capabilities with each of the characters, and so much of the lore and story. It is, I'm just surprised myself that, this hasn't happened yet. Like, why didn't you guys do this when it was for 2014? Why didn't you guys do this when it was for King of the Monsters? There's so much missed opportunities here. But, GVK, yeah, sure. Finally, about time. You know what I mean? it's it's really stupid. But anyway, yeah, Godzilla's gonna be in COD, and what do I think about it? It's cool. What can I say? Godzilla is in COD, and then probably, my most anticipated is the fact that King Kong is gonna be in the game as well. Or I'm sorry, I should call him Kong, because apparently I can't be calling him King Kong, which, like, I don't care. Like, straight up, like, I like, this is something like something that I wanted to bring up. A little small rant is that many people seem to really get hissy when I say King Kong to call the MonsterVerse Kong. I don't care. Like, I straight, like, it's. I mean, yeah, you could call him Kong, whatever, man. Like, whoop de fucking do. Like, I'm not gonna correct you on it, but like, if I want to call him King Kong, I'll call him King Kong. Like, cause that, no matter what, is King Kong, King motherfucking Kong, dude. Like, no, like, I swear. But anyway, so yeah, King Kong, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla are gonna be in the game. Yes, indeed. I actually have a few downloaded images here that features a bit more on the game itself, and it's pretty cool. So obviously, right here, this is sort of like the whole thing that's gonna be in the game. We got new weapons, new bundles, new operators. Operators are basically, for those who are unaware of COD, operators are basically, skins, avatars, characters you could be in the game. It's basically what it is. And obviously, I'm pretty sure, if you guys are looking at my screen right now, I'm pretty sure this is what caught your eye, in the very bottom, at the very bottom right left corner. Yeah, we got ourselves some Godzilla versus Kong skins. We got some new operators here, guys. And not gonna lie, they look really badass. Like, they straight up look really, really cool. Like, obviously, right here, we're gonna start off from Kong here. We got Tracer Pack, Kong Limited Time. Each one of them are Tracer Packs, and they are each limited time offers. Yeah, these they genuinely look really cool. Like, I honestly see myself rocking all three of these, like, at the same time somehow. Like, I guess I would have to make different accounts to be each of these characters, each of these skins. Nah, but like, just looking at the designs of these, skins here, they look really, really nice. Like, I really like the Kong and Godzilla specifically. Like, with Mechagodzilla, he just looks like a generic robot dragon thing. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not really, I don't know. I would say that in order, I would say Kong, Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla. Like, when it comes to best to, like, okay, design, I guess. But yeah, so as you can see here, Kong here looks really cool. Like, I really like that. Like, he really looks like he's gonna fuck someone up right now. And then we get Godzilla here, the Godzilla React here. This one looks really, really cool. And according to this, he's gonna be a Master Craft Limited. Mechagodzilla here looks really cool as well. We got, like, I think that's a sword. I'm not sure. I think that is a sword, actually. It doesn't really look like a gun, like some sort of weapon, like auto weapon here. It just looks like a straight up blade. Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, this looks really, really promising here. And then we got some other things here. Look at this map here. We got we got the skull crawler, skeleton remains, the Kong skeleton remains. There's so much things here. And then we got Godzilla's name in Japanese here on the stone wall here. We got Kong's hand right here. It's just insane. There are so much things here, and also at the same time, we also get a bit of a closer look at what the wraps on what the skin looks here in color. Here it is. Um, yeah, yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. It's pretty cool. It really is. Look at that gun though. Like that's the one thing. Like when it comes to the guns, bro. Like look at this, man. Um, it is a sniper. It is a sniper. It does appear to be a sniper or an submachine gun. Um, I myself probably won't be using that because I'm not usually a sniper kind of guy. I'm usually a go in and start shooting up shit kind of guy. My freaking literally my main weapon is literally an AK-47. That's pretty much should tell you right there. I don't sit around. But other than that, look at this, man. This just looks really really cool. And then we got Kong's weapon. Look at Kong's, bro. Straight up looking cool as man. I don't know, bro. This looks so fucking cool. I honestly, I see myself using this gun besides the Godzilla one. Like it is so like cool. Like look at this, man. Um, but yeah, other than that, this is honestly it's pretty cool. Seeing all this, it's a really nice little thing here. Honestly, like I don't even know if you guys even knew, but like I've played Call of Duty for freaking years, man. Like freaking straight up when it comes to shooting games for me, my very first shooting game was the NES Contra game, and then from there it was the PC port of Doom from the Super. I think it was a Super NES or the Sega Genesis port. I'm not too sure, but that was my second shooting game. And then from there, Black Ops, that was the one that pretty much, got me into COD, and from there on, it's always been COD. And, obviously, Cold War is the only game I've been, playing this and such like that. Of course, Warzone. I refuse to get Vanguard though. Vanguard is shit. I do not like the campaign. Yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about the campaign. I've played it firsthand from a friend of mine's house, and the campaign sucks. It's cringe, very cringe. So yeah, I refuse to get that. So when it comes down to it, Cold War has always been that game. Like for me right now, Cold War is like the best like Cold War Call of Duty game right now. Like it's really really fun. Um, so the fact that it's about like honestly like I said like earlier like it's about time they finally do this crossover. Like it's been like they should have like I said they should have done it when King of the Monsters was out or freaking after that, because then we could have gotten way more other monsters. We could have gotten Mothra, we could have gotten Rodan, we could have gotten King Ghidorah, so much other monsters, and it's just really really cool overall when it comes down to it. I think it's just something they should have done pretty early. But at the same time, there's also, I guess, in some ways, gives them the opportunity to bring in other monsters that they wanted to. Like perhaps maybe King Ghidorah or Rodan or Mothra might show up. Who knows? But as far as I know, King Kong and Godzilla are the only ones that are gonna be appearing in the game, and of course, there's gonna be other creatures. I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure. Um, Overall, when it comes down to it, my thoughts on this whole crossover, I think it's gonna be really fun. Not gonna lie. Like honestly, half of me is kind of hoping that we get to interact with Godzilla in some way. We be the ones shooting him or something, and he's like over here swiping his hand across and stuff like that, trying to get us or whatever. And then Kong comes in, he's freaking grabbing helicopters and tossing them over to us, so we have to try to dodge it. So many fun little things that could happen in this event. So I personally am looking forward to it. Like it's gonna be a fun one. All right. So the next thing I want to sort of riff on a bit. This will be a Godzilla cringe little section because the person that I'll be discussing is from a Godzilla fan, which is pretty obvious from like once we explore a bit on this guy's whole thing. Um, yeah, it's pretty obvious he's a Godzilla fan, judging by just the way his video, or not his video, but like his list is. Cause this is a top 5 least favorite list, you know. And of course, when it comes to lists like that, they all have, certain opinions, and most of those opinions have a lot of depth, a lot of reasoning, good reasoning, and just boil down to like it's an opinion, and a lot of people nowadays in the internet have opinions and such like that. But when you're like this guy, when all your quote opinions only come down to just saying it's bland, it's weird, it's stupid, that's not really an opinion, that's more of a nitpick, and usually those are the type of things that most people don't really accept, um unless you're fucking stupid and you can't comprehend the concept of an opinion. Then you'll just be like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, so so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's riff on my top 5 least favorite Ultraman kaiju by Mecha from Amino. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a top 5 least favorite Ultraman kaiju by this particular user. Why don't we look at this profile real quick? Let's look at this profile real quick. All right, so here's its bio. Here's his bio right here. Since May 2017, 14 years, 337 days. Jeez. Anyway, so let's read this. Hello, I am Mecha. I love to create posts about different things like quizzes, polls, blogs, and even show funny or cool things of the amazing people on this community. I am a fan of all things kaiju, from Godzilla to Gamera and Ultraman to King Kong. So, yeah, okay. All right, and then we scroll down here. We got wiki entries. Apparently, I'm guessing these are wikis that he created on Amino. What the fuck? The Jagverse? What the fuck is this shit? Anyway, let's let's go back here. So, all right. So, I read. I'll be honest. I read a bit on the list, and the things that this person says in this list are real. They're really stupid. He gives no real opinions. Like when I read this to you guys, or if you're watching this or not, whatever, you know, you'll come to understand, yeah, like these aren't really opinions at all, So anyway, without further ado, guys, let me read you guys the oh my god, what is this? Cringe. I am not gonna make an account. That is cringe. Anyway, okay, so let's just read this right here. Hello, everyone. Today I have another list for you. Being my top 5 least favorite Ultraman kaiju. A lot of people may disagree with this list, but it's my opinion, and it's perfectly fine that you disagree with me. This list will only contain monsters that I have seen in episodes or battles. Now, keep that sentence right there in mind. This list will only contain monsters that I have seen in episodes or battles. But when I read you, like, keep that in mind, because when I get around to reading his quote opinions on some of these monsters, you'll come to realize that this guy didn't exactly saw the episodes and only saw the battles that feature them. Straight up. Anyway, continuing on. I will also say that 5 through 3 I don't mind, but I have problems with, while 2 through 1 I don't like. Well, let's get this list started. Okay. So already this is already a fucking lie. You type the post here is called my top 5 least favorite Ultraman kaiju. Right? Why is it that 5 through 3 you don't mind? That doesn't make sense. maybe the title should have been called my top 5 uh, least favorite monsters that I don't mind, but I also don't like from Ultraman Kaiju, whatever. like you see what I mean? Like it's that doesn't make sense. Like why if you're gonna be calling the title my least favorite Ultraman Kaiju, why is it that 5 through 3 are the ones that you don't mind? Like okay. Also another thing too that I also want to bring up. It also kind of seems like this guy is sort of trying to start some shit. That's another thing that is quite frequently that I've noticed quite frequently in like in both the Godzilla community and Ultraman community. Like newcomers to Ultraman seem like they're trying to start some shit with like the Ultraman fans themselves. Like they say shit like, "Oh, like fuck this and that, fuck this monster because he's fucking cringe or whatever," and stupid shit like that. And when we go to this to number 5, you'll see what I mean when I say that. So anyway, dishonorable mentions that dishonorable mentions. He spelled mentions wrong. He forgot the letter N. So okay, Grugebone. He misspelled Grugebone. Why do I get the feeling this guy doesn't know shit about Ultraman? And has only started out. Okay. Alright. I would have put on the list, but I had a rant about on my Rube rant, so I'm not adding it on the list. Well, I mean, Ultraman RB sucks ass anyway, so I mean, yeah, I guess in some ways he's okay with that. Anyway, so number 5, Gomora. Now, I may get some hate for this, but just for the record, I don't hate this kaiju and just find it bland for some reason. I don't if it's been used too much, which it probably has. Now, I love the alternate forms except Fire Gomora, because it's just a red Gomora, but EX Gomora, Mecha Gomora, Cyber Gomora, and Skull Gomora are all really cool. Gomora isn't bad, but to me it isn't really good, and to me is overrated. So much. Okay, we got a lot to discuss here, guys. Okay, so now this is honestly surprising to me, because for one thing, from as someone that has interacted with both Godzilla and Ultraman fans, I can say for certain, any Godzilla fan, if you go up to them and ask them, "Hey, what Ultra monster do you like the most?" They probably won't remember his name, but they'll probably describe it as, "Oh, it's that monster with horns," or like, "Oh, it's Gomora." Gomora has literally become the most iconic and most infamous monster. Like the mostly when it comes down to it, like the Gomora that they're describing is the one from Ultra Galaxy, because that one is obviously the one show that really just catches a lot of Godzilla fans' eyes. Because it's just a bunch of monsters fighting, and it's overall a really great show. I totally recommend it. And basically, Gomora is essentially the Godzilla Final Wars. It is Godzilla 2004 of Ultra Galaxy. You know what I mean? So, it's surprising to me that this guy finds Gomora bland. I mean, if you want to hear a hot take, Godzilla's bland. Yeah, he's basically just a upright dinosaur with spikes with Stegosaurus spikes on his back. Yeah, yeah, I just said that. Yeah. So if you think that Gomora is bland for just because of his just looking like that, that could be said for Godzilla too. And hey, let's not stop there. Gamera. Gamera's just a giant turtle with freaking tusks on his mouth. And hey, why stop there? Ultraman, he's just a giant guy with some red patterns on his body. And hey, let's also not stop there. King Kong, a giant gorilla. There are so many different iconic monsters that we can point and say, it just looks bland. So, yeah, already this already is a stupid start to a quote opinion. Anyway, so all right, the next one's here. Another thing that I want to discuss about is that he loves the alternate forms. He loves the other alternate forms. Like and what's even funnier is that he includes Mecha Gomora and Cyber Gomora and Skull Gomora as alternate forms, which I find to be amusing since, obviously if you're an Ultraman fan, you would know those three monsters that I just mentioned are three completely different entities. They are both their own unique sort of shit, It's like, Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. You know what I mean? So, would you say that Mechagodzilla is a form of Godzilla? I mean, it depends on which one you're talking about, I guess, but no, it's not. But anyway, so another thing too is he loves these alternate forms, quote unquote, but all except for Fire Gomora. So obviously, I'm going to assume he's talking about Rayonix Burst Gomora, and when he said that, like, okay, and this is his reason that he gives for the reason why he doesn't like Fire Gomora, is because it's just a red Gomora. If you've watched Ultra Galaxy Neo, and if you've watched every single episode, which I highly doubt this person has, you would know that Rayonix Burst Gomora is way more than just being a red Gomora. I mean, firstly, he's not red. He's more of like an orangey yellowish color. Like it's more or less like that kind of color, I mean, yeah, there's a few hints of red, but it's mostly an orange color, an orange tone color. So already, this whole thing is just kind of all over the place. And so, yeah. And another thing too that I wanted to bring up is a certain meme template that fits very perfectly for this. So this guy says that he loves the alternate forms, all except for Rayonix Burst Gomora or Fire Gomora, whatever the fuck this retard wants to call it. This is one perfect meme template that really fits perfectly with this, and it goes something like this: if you don't like me at my this, then you don't deserve me at my this. Yeah, like do you get what do you get it? Like, if you don't like the OG Gomora, then you don't deserve to say shit about the other Gomora forms, like the EX Gomora or Rayonix Burst Gomora. Like, you do not deserve to say anything like that. Like, straight up, bro. Nah. Okay. So, yeah. Already, number 5, Gomora is his opinion on why he hates or finds this monster to be his least favorite is already like pretty damn like sad and pathetic. So, anyway, next one here. Number 4, Gomez. Okay, I don't mind Gomez, but I just don't like the idea of a furry Godzilla with a couple of horns. But this kaiju looks like the Grinch Godzilla had a baby, which I hope I would never have to say those words in the same sentence until I saw Gomez. So, okay, Gomez. Gomez is also another opinion that, it's just kind of a mixed bag, I guess you could say. Because he also says that he doesn't mind Gomez, which is also stupid. Because why is he on his list? Keep in mind, it's called my top 5 least favorite Ultraman kaiju, correct? Yet, so far, number 4 and number 5 are the 2 monsters so far that this guy in particular doesn't mind. That doesn't make any sense. That's already this whole thing, like, this whole thing is just stupid. It really is. Anyway, So he doesn't like the idea of a furry Godzilla with a couple of horns. Okay, why do I get the feeling that this guy probably has a top 5 favorite Ultraman kaiju, and I bet you anything, there's probably G-Ras is in that list. I bet you anything. Oh my god. But yeah, he doesn't like Gomez because he's furry. He's a furry and he has a couple of horns. Are you serious? Like, if anything, compared to Gomez and G-Ras, the two monsters that everyone knows by now or should know by now, reuse the Godzilla suit. Compared to both of them, I'd say Gomez is probably the more original looking monster. I mean, yeah, sure, he does have appearance of the Godzilla, he obviously, but G-Ras is straight up just Godzilla with a frill. Like, why isn't that in your list? Like, if you wanted to, like, that kind of goes for like Gomera too. Like, if you wanted to say something about a bland monster or a monster that just looks just plain just that, why isn't G-Ras in this list? Because I bet you 100%, ladies and gentlemen, this guy probably fucking likes G-Ras a lot. Cause Godzilla. Like, I swear, bro. I do like the comparison though right here that he gives. The Grinch, if the Grinch and Godzilla had a baby, Gomez like that's a pretty like clever way of seeing it, I guess. It's I don't know. That kind of gave me a smile, so I don't know. Anyway, number 3, Birdon. Okay, Birdon. That is a monster that I can understand a lot of people wouldn't, like. I mean, I for one like Birdon, but obviously I know a couple of friends of mine and a couple of others who unironically don't really like Birdon because they have and funny enough, they actually have good reasons and actual reasons, while this guy's doesn't really have a really good reason. Let's read this. Anyway, Birdon is just weird and not the cool kind of weird since it's on the list. Sorry, I misread that. But first of all, what are those red things on its beak? They just look odd on it. But the real problem I have are those freaking wings. How does this thing even fly with those pathetic wings? Top 10 questions people still haven't answered. Okay. All right. Let's fucking let's talk about this. Okay. So first off, obviously, like with the whole thing with him, with Birdon, I mean, he doesn't have to like Birdon. I could understand why a lot of people don't like Birdon. It just doesn't look really that. It just doesn't really look appealing, And like at the same time, his opinions is just all he has to say about it is just weird. Straight up, I have friends that literally go into depth on why they don't like Birdon. It's insane. And all this guy has to muster up is just saying that Birdon looks weird? That's it? Oh my god. And when he goes down the list and he says like, what are those red things on its beak? And for those who don't know, like obviously the people that are like unfamiliar with Birdon, they'll be like, oh, those look like fucking ball sacks. Like, okay. But no, in actuality, there are poisonous sacs. They're poisonous sacs, and he uses his beak to stab its opponent and inject the poison in it, weakening them and making their entire like that part of the body numb. It can't move at all. So yeah, it's an ability. It's an actual ability that Birdon has. Another thing too that really just made me like, oh my god, was when he said, "How does this thing even fly with those pathetic wings?" And yeah, it's possible. It is possible. I mean, in a way, you call these wings pathetic, but that could also be said for a few other Godzilla monsters. For example, two monsters that have wings: Gigan and Mecha King Ghidorah. If it wasn't for their anti-gravity abilities, they wouldn't really be able to fly. And even if they did, it would look really stupid. You know, like that could also be said for like another monster in particular, the flying form of Destroyer. How the hell does it fly? It just floats. How does it fly? That doesn't make any sense. There's no motion with that. He just sort of floats. There's no explanation on how he's able to do that. Like, yeah, I just pointed those out. Like, how the hell, like, if you're saying that Birdon has pathetic wings, how the hell do those other monsters that I just mentioned with those fly with those pathetic wings that they have? So, I mean, yeah, like if you like, yeah, I can point out some monsters here, but buddy, like I can point out some monsters with some pathetic wings. But hey, at the same time, everything is fiction. These monsters aren't real. When it comes to monsters with wings and all that and how they can fly with those wings, you don't normally ask, because in the end of the day, it's all fiction and entertainment. It's all that is really all that is really all it is. By the way, guys, are you guys starting to notice how it's pretty obvious that this guy in particular did not watch any of the episodes? Because it's pretty obvious to me. Anyway, so going down the list here. Number 2, Nova. Okay, so Nova is a monster that appeared in Ultraman Leo, and he is he's kind of like a yokai monster. He's a spiritual monster that has a lot of things to it. More than just whatever this guy describes this monster as. It is way more than just a monster that looks like this. Like, you guys can probably see it right here. Yeah, right there. It's there's way more than that. Anyway, so we're gonna read this right here. Nova. What is this thing? It looks like a balloon with a face and a cape tied up with some rope and a pickaxe. The only reason it's number 2 is because the episode in it appeared that I watched was decent, and I enjoyed some parts of that episode. Obviously, that's cap, because instead of putting episode, he should have put this. The only reason it's number 2 is because the battle it appeared that I watched was decent, and I enjoyed some parts of that battle. Because, straight up, this guy did not watch this episode. He did not. It's pretty obvious. And he doesn't even specify what episode in it. Because with some of these monsters that he's listing, like so far, like some of these images, this Birdon in particular appeared in Ultra Galaxy Neo. Gomez appeared in Ultra Galaxy Neo. Gomer right here appeared in Ultra Galaxy and Ultra Galaxy Neo. He uses these images, and I'm guessing, and obviously this one right here, I'm probably guessing that he watched Ultraman Mebius. The Ultraman Mebius version, or the Ultra Galaxy version. Who really knows? Because this guy doesn't specify anything with these monsters. Like, so far, this list is all nitpicks. Everything nitpicking. Nothing but nitpicks here and there. Oh, like this monster has some weird ball sacks hanging from his beak, so I already don't like it. And his wings look fucking stupid, so obviously I don't like it. This monster looks fucking bland because I don't like it. This monster looks like a furry. Like, he has a balloon face and everything like that. Nothing but nitpicks. Nothing but bitching nitpicks. That's all I see and read, and it's just all bad. Bad opinions here, guys. It really is. Alright, we're going down to number 1. Now, number 1 is by far the most surprising thing because even at the time, 2016, when Ultraman Orb was out, and obviously when the monster Maga Orochi appeared, many people from the Godzilla community fucking loved it. They loved Maga Orochi. Or at least some, I guess. Some Godzilla fans, let me correct myself. Some Godzilla fans really liked Maga Orochi. And I myself really fucking like Maga Orochi. You know, Maga Orochi, Magatano Orochi, Metsu Orochi. I really like them. They're really fucking badass. I would say that, you know, my second favorite would be like Galactron, and that's about it. In terms of Ultraman Orb monsters. So anyway, so I was surprised that number one was Magatano Orochi. So let's read this. Well, I'm sure I'm going to get hate for this. You see that little thing right there? That pretty much just tells me right there that he's looking for some heat, bro. He is looking for some heat. Like, he knows what he's doing. And the sad thing is that I'm giving it to him. I'm giving him that reaction. So, by just correcting his bullshit, basically. So, in the way, it hasn't really worked, really, at all. But anyway, but my number one is Magatano Orochi. But just let me explain. Alright, sure, let's hear this guy's explanation. So I was watching the season finale of Ultraman Orb, and when I heard that Maga Orochi was just the larval stage of something even more destructive, and so I got excited. But because I never saw the new kaiju before, and so I waited until the abomination that is Maga no Orochi appeared, and a wave of disappointment consumed me. The design was terrible and barely looked like it was related to Maga Orochi. The episode it was in really good, just not the kaiju itself. In my opinion, I think Maga Orochi is more powerful than Magatano Orochi, but that's just me. I was expecting something really cool to come from Maga Orochi, but got something disappointing. So already this is stupid. This is a stupid, like, he basically basically this whole thing, the whole reason why he doesn't like Magatano Orochi was because he fucking hyped himself up and he got disappointed with the design. That's stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, like, some people don't really like Magatano Orochi. I mean, some of them might do. I sure do. Like, I really like the concept of, like, a mass of flesh and bone, like, being like this, like, basically like this, you know. And another thing too is that he mentions that, you know, that it doesn't look like Maga Orochi. I mean, do you not see the design? Look at, like, I could see some Maga Orochi stuff on there. I could see the heads. I could see the spike patterns. I could see the head, the massive head with teeth. I could see that. It straight up is Maga Orochi. But no, I guess he just doesn't really see that because he's fucking blind and retarded. And you know, obviously with just stuff like this, you know. And another thing too that's even more stupid is that he thinks that Maga Orochi is more powerful than Magatano Orochi, which even that is stupid, because obviously Magatano Orochi, if it wasn't for that weak spot that was on his body in the episode, I feel like Magatano Orochi would be a massive threat to the Earth. He would have annihilated the entire planet if it wasn't for that weak spot from the episode. You know what I mean? So, not to mention, Magatano Orochi basically contains every single power of the past Maga monsters, the Maga Beast, Maga Basser, Maga Grand King, Maga Japa, Maga Pandan, and I think Maga Zetan, I believe, also. Or I think it's just all those main four Maga Beasts, I think. But basically, you know, it has all of their abilities, including its own, maximizing it into powerful proportions. You know, like, Magatano Orochi is supremely powerful than its larval stage. You know, like, it's this whole thing is stupid. I have no other way of saying this. Like, it's this whole list of his opinions are just stupid. Like, everything about it is just nitpicks and nitpicks. Anyway, he signs off by saying, "Well, that's my list. Hope you guys enjoyed reading my opinions on these kaiju." Oh, we certainly enjoyed it, Mecha. Well, I'll be seeing you guys soon. See ya. Yep. Fuck ya. Anyway, so Jesus, man. Okay. Let me get out of this real quick. All right, there we go. All right. Fucking hell. Yeah. So, yeah, that list was stupid. The opinions right there were stupid. I don't know what else to really describe it. It was stupid. There were nothing but nitpicks and nothing but bitching over certain little things about the monsters. Um, I gotta say, like, again, like many people that I know, I mean, some people that I know, they don't really like some of the Ultra monsters. Like, I can understand that, with some designs of the monsters, they just don't like it, But another thing too is that you have to appreciate the fact, at least appreciate the fact of how imaginative and creative some of these monsters are. Like, yeah, some of the monsters from that guy's list were just some of the more famous and more scarce kind of monsters. But there are a whole variety of monsters from the Ultra franchise. There are so many different monsters, and most of them are just so creative and imaginative. Like, I can't stress this enough. I mean, obviously they have their just bland monsters like Jiras, and just shit like that. But there are so much more to some of these monsters, man, that you like there is so much more to them. They look so freaking badass is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Um Half of these monsters, I would go as far as to say that there are more the ultra monsters, some of the ultra monsters are more imaginative and creative than any of the freaking Godzilla monsters, including Gamma monsters. Well, okay, maybe not the Gamma monsters. I mean, cuz Legion is a pretty creative looking monster. But besides all that, it's you can't beat it. Some of the just have any Godzilla fan out there has really have they ever really like stopped to really admire the monster's design and its origins? Like, seriously, like, really stop and admire some of these monsters, guys. Like, I implore you to do that, because you will understand how really awesome some of these ultra monsters are. I cannot stress that enough. You know, like again, like I bring up Godzilla a lot with some of these arguments, because some of these because that's the thing with is that some of these Godzilla fans that are starting to get into Ultraman always really just nitpick about certain shit, and it's like, no, like, you can't just nitpick like that. You gotta really give your reasoning on why you don't like these monsters. And so, like, it really is just a shame that, like, some of these Godzilla fans just straight up just say, like, oh, like, I don't like this monster. It's weird. And that's it. Like, they don't even go into more into it, like, they don't even go much of anything. All it is with them is just nitpicks. Some of them, some Godzilla fans nitpick so goddamn much with some Ultraman designs, including some Godzilla designs. Like, it's stupid. It really is. But other than that, like, that's pretty much what it is, man. Like, I can't even. I don't know what else to really say, man. Oh my god, man. Like, I don't even know. That list was all over the place. Um. Anyway, so continuing on here, the next discussion I wanted to bring up is my thoughts on some Ultraman related things, and they're all gonna be very quick. So, finally got around to watching the Ultraman anime that was on that's on Netflix. Um, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not sure if I'll be doing a I'm not sure if I'll be doing a freaking what you call it, a manga versus anime thing video, because this is something that many of you guys have been asking me to do if I was gonna do that, you know. And honestly, I don't really know if I will, because I sort of stopped reading the manga from the uh, from the last couple of issues, and it wasn't, you know, from continuing from here to there, you know. So I don't know if I'll be doing that, but you know, I don't know. But I did saw the anime. The anime was all right. The final episode was pretty wild. Not gonna lie, it was pretty damn awesome. The soundtrack was pretty cool. Um, the ending of each episode was so random and stupid. I was just laughing the whole time. Like why were they fucking dancing for the way they were dancing? They straight up looked like they were doing some Fortnite dances or something. I don't even know, bro. But oh my god, this anime, bro. This anime was, besides that, the anime was fun. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty good. But will I be doing a manga versus anime video? No, I will not. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. It's pretty good. All right. The next thing I want to discuss is a couple of things regarding Shin Ultraman. Yes, indeed. Obviously, the teaser trailers have been out for a while now. But you know, I wanted to do this in a live podcast, because I have a lot to say about it. It's a couple of theories I have, but also at the same time in regards to just like the trailer itself. So the trailer itself is probably the freaking most amazing thing I've seen. There is so much things going on. The visuals, oh my god. The way Ultraman was flying up in the sky straight up looked like something from the Showa 1966 Ultraman, and it was so freaking awesome. Oh my god, that little touch right there was really just got me right there, man. I don't know why. It was so perfect. And of course, we got to see more footage of Naranga, Gabora, and Ultraman here. But we also got to see some interesting names and some faces here. We got to see Zerub and Mephiles. Yes, Alien Zerub and Alien Mephiles. Indeed, these aliens here are going to be in the film, which is really cool. So you know, seeing these, like, obviously when you obviously at this point it's already been out at this point that the design of Zerub here is obviously based off of the scrapped concept and design of the original Zerub. So yeah, at this point it's pretty much obvious that, you know, like Hideki Anno is straight up just reusing a lot of scrapped designs and a lot of scrapped concepts. I mean, he did the same for Shin Godzilla, so I mean, that's something. Anyway, so I wanted to discuss a certain theory that I had before the trailers came out. Because before all this, I had a theory that Bolton was gonna be involved in some way in this. That particularly, like, when it comes down to like Naranga's case, because I don't know if you guys are aware, but there was a scrapped episode for the original Ultraman where it was gonna feature Alien Bolton in a early design of Naranga, where he just kind of looked like a brownish black monster. And you know, he didn't have the antennas. Obviously this is the picture I'm talking about specifically, just so you guys can get the idea. And you know, it was gonna have Naranga being controlled by Bolton, by Alien Bolton, and Bolton sending him out to eliminate Ultraman. And you know, it was then that Bolton would appear and fight Ultraman himself, and yeah. So that was my whole little theory, that, you know, it was gonna feature Bolton, because, you know, it had Naranga and Gabora in it. So I had a theory that, maybe Bolton might, appear in this film in some way. Um, but no, it didn't really appear that way. But I have came up with another theory that perhaps the director is going to be basing off a certain scrapped episode idea. And from so far from what we've seen, it seems like it might be plausible. I'm not entirely sure. I might be wrong, but it looks plausible. So I made so before I discuss my theory, let me read you this particular thing that I found when researching further into this. When I was researching some scrapped ideas or scrapped episode ideas. And this one happened to be similar to what we see so far from the trailers. So let me read you this. Originally, Alien Mephiles was to team up with Alien Bolton, Alien Zerub, and Kamer in a great invasion and use Zeton and Saigo to defeat Ultraman. So I had a theory on this. Perhaps later on in the episode, later on in the film, we may have Kamerman and Alien Bolton in the film. Perhaps they're saving them for later on. Who knows? And for Zeton and Saigo, perhaps Hideki is replacing Zeton and Saigo and replacing them with Naranga and Gabora. I, like straight up, that's my whole theory right there. Maybe this whole thing was just a plot by these aliens. And if this theory ends up being real in terms of the aliens being featured, that would be the most epic thing ever. Because not only will it feature some of these aliens, but it's featuring my all-time favorite aliens. It's featuring Bolton, Alien Mephiles, Alien Zerub, and Kamerman. Well, technically, Kamer is a Kaijin. He's not really an alien, but he's a humanoid monster. But he's still of alien descent. So the point is, it's going to be featuring these extraterrestrial beings. My all-time favorites, specifically. And that will be really badass if it does. Other than that, when it comes down to it, all this is just insane. I like ever since the trailer came out, and I've been looking up on things. I've been making my own theories on what could happen and this and that. But it was just so insane. There was so much things, guys, that it was I don't know, guys. It was really interesting. But yeah. Other than that, when it comes down to it, Shin Ultraman, pretty excited to see. The film. I'm pretty sure the film is gonna be a fun watch. And I'm pretty sure by that point, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have some new Ultraman fans. Who knows? But yeah, I think I might just end it off right here at this point. There, there are so much things to discuss, guys. I freaking just went off on a tangent at this point. Um, but yeah, other than that, guys, there's been so much things to discuss, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys. I'll yeah, there's not really much else to say. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. If you guys stopped by, thank you guys for stopping by. I'll freaking probably upload. I got some videos planned. I'll probably upload them soon, and of course, I'll be uploading some highlight clips of this podcast, of course. So expect that, and yeah, there's not really much else to say, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more. I'll see you guys in the next video or podcast, whatever I end up, making, whatever. So yeah, I gotta really make more podcasts. Honestly, I gotta make some more episodes here. But yeah, anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoy this podcast once again. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Sayonara.